This is my camera case. It's a hard case made from Amazon Basics that is supposed to look and work like a pellet case, but at just 80 euros, it does so without costing an arm and a leg. So is it worth it? Let's talk about it. What's up YouTube? A couple of months ago I got fed up with my camera backpack, made a review about it and sold it off. But because I then didn't have any camera bag anymore, that meant that all of my gear was sort of just lying around this office. Of course, it didn't take too long until my fiance got fed up with the situation and ordered me to figure out some way to store and organize my gear without it being just splattered all over the place. And so that's what I did. And so I decided to buy myself a hard case that I could use to store and organize my gear until eventually my next camera backpack would arrive. So just to make this clear, this case is not meant to replace a camera backpack. It is just meant to organize and house my gear in the office and maybe to take it with me in the car or whatever. It should go without saying, but I'm not planning to schlep this guy up any mountains anytime soon. But anyway, to get back to the case, initially I was thinking about buying a real actual petty case. I don't know my way around the hard case world, so there might be better brands out there that I just don't know about. But pellet case for me kind of just was the go-to name brand. For some strange reason though, all the sizes that I would have liked to go for just were not in stock anywhere. And on top of that, the prices for those cases were a bit of a hindrance as well. Now, I am sure that there are good reasons why pellet cases cost as much as they do, and if you are, for example, rappelling your way down a waterfall like Levi Allen with thousands of dollars worth of equipment strapped to your body, a real pellet case is surely the right way to go and will probably even save you money that you would otherwise have to spend on repairs. But for mere mortals like myself, the Amazon hard case should be more than good enough. It certainly still offers more protection than most camera backpacks, and honestly wouldn't be too concerned if I dropped it or I got rain on it. I just wouldn't throw it in a pond though, even though it is advertised as waterproof. The overall build quality also feels decent. You get 2 layers of pre-cut foam that you can just tear into and customize it till your heart's content. The case is held shut with these 2 lashes that make a very satisfying sound when you open and close them. There are holes on the sides to lock the thing, to keep people from stealing your gear, and there's a valve to seal it airtight. Or at least that's what I think it's for. Actually, I don't know, should have looked that one up. But anyway, I taped the foam pad off the lid to the lid using some double-sided tape because before it kept falling out. Other than that, no complaints. The only thing I'm not sure about is where to get new pre-cut foam if I ever want to redo this setup. But I will cross that bridge when I get to it. And just in case any of you are actually interested in checking this case out for yourself, I will have linked it in the description below. So yeah, for me, this is a storing solution only 85% of the time, even though I actually have taken this on the road with me in some occasions. But to be honest, even that was just out of desperation because I simply didn't have any camera backpack that could take all of the gear I wanted to bring. And also, would you just look at this? This level of organization is really the stuff that dreams are made of for me. We will go through the gear in a minute, but can we just take this in for a second and enjoy the glory of a well-organized gear case? It is truly beautiful, if I do say so myself. But before I get all teary-eyed, let's go through all the stuff that I keep in here. Starting off on the upper left side, where I keep my drone, which is the DJI Mini 2, along with its controller. This is the cheapest drone DJI offers right now, and as far as I'm aware, it is also the smallest and lightest. So it was perfect in every way for me. The image quality is really nothing to write home about, but it is decent enough for my needs. More importantly though, I can fit it everywhere, and it's just such a fun tool to use. Everyone who I've shown this to was also just surprised by how quiet it is. The battery life is also good enough for my needs, and I can fly for a good 20 to 25 minutes on a single charge. Really, there's just nothing to complain about here, and if I ever do crash it, it will not financially ruin me to buy a new one, which is nice. Truth be told though, playing with this guy kind of makes me want to buy an R2S, maybe at some point in the future. For now though, I'm really enjoying the DJI Mini 2. Below the drone, I keep a newer HDMI monitor. This is a piece of shit, but it was the cheapest and best solution for me until a few weeks ago when I was still shooting on the X-T4 because that camera didn't have a flip screen. The monitor uses Sony batteries, so I bought a pair of third-party knockoffs, as well as a USB Type-C dual charger, all of which I also keep in this case. In the middle of the case, I keep my Fuji lenses. I'm a Fuji shooter, so all of these are X-mount lenses. Go figure. You probably know most of these, so I'll make it quick. I use a Fuji 18-55mm as a standard zoom lens. It has good stabe, fairly quiet autofocus and goes from aperture f2.8 at the wide end to f4 when zoomed in. It's not the best in its class, that's for sure, but it works for what it is, and most importantly, it is very small and unobtrusive. Because of its size, I think it really works best on my Fuji X-T30 though. I also do own the 16mm f1.4, which I love in every way, and it is probably my most used lens. This Viltrox 56mm f1.4 is also a very decent alternative to Fuji's native offerings. It's not optically perfect, that's for sure, but the AF is surprisingly reliable, image quality is decent, and it feels very solid overall. I might get Fuji's 56mm f1.2 or even the 50mm 1.0 at some point, but those lenses are far bigger, which is why I was attracted to this guy. So all in all, and with the price in mind, I'm very happy with it. My ultra-wide zoom lens is the 10-24mm. It is only a constant f4, but the image stabilizer is decent and it has survived a couple of severe drops without crapping out on me. It still works even after everything that I've put it through. Good lens in my opinion, just not the best for video in low light. Also, it has now officially been replaced with a newer and weather-resistant version, but either way, they are almost $1,000, which is a bit steep for what you get. But oh well, at least when compared to the Fuji 8-16mm, it is an absolute bargain. The last lens in here is my tele lens. I rarely ever have a use for a tele lens, but sometimes it's nice to have one. I do, however, always prefer smaller and lighter lenses, which is why I was happy to find out that Fuji makes this glorious 50-200mm lens. It is very compact for what it is, but on the flip side, that means that it does zoom externally. Still worth it for the size and weight benefits though. But yeah, that's it for my lenses. All the way over to the right, I keep my newest acquisition, the Fuji X-T4. I am still in love with it, even though it's not perfect, and I still have a lot to learn on how to use it properly. It is a real step up from the X-T30 and a much more sophisticated camera overall. If you want to see my first impressions video about it, I got that linked in the description below for your viewing pleasure. I also keep 2 spare batteries for the Fuji X-T4 and a dual USB Type-C charger from Nightcore for those batteries in here. Next to that, and of course the last item in this case, there is a small pouch which houses a Rode lavalier microphone as well as a lightning adapter, just in case. And that's it. That's the Amazon hard case and my current gear setup. Let me know what you think about this case and of course the setup in the comments below, and also if you have any questions about any of the items that I've shown in this video, also just feel free to leave them down there. But that is all I got for you today though. Thank you so much for watching, I truly appreciate it. Until next week, take care, bye bye.